Alright lads, here he is, sitting pelican up on the slip. Just giving him a little tickle, and you can see up there, that's one of the issues that'll need addressing. Rusty bolts up there, there's 5. 1, 2, 3. So those 3 are the culprit. You can see that it's really pulled away. I mean, and this is good old paint. Right. This looks like I can fix this up. Not too bad, doesn't feel too soft, still sounds pretty solid. But you can see here where the chain, right, anchor, and then here real bad where the chain's ripped in. Now you can see, so I'm not sure when that occurred, and it's almost like what's happened is it was slack on the tide change, and yeah, I just don't know. So he's rubbed here, and it could have been when all of this happened. But how does a chain go from there to there? So I'm a little puzzled at that angle. But it's almost like the boat was doing this on the chain. Oh, it's just got me a little puzzled. You can see distinct line, and then 1, 2, like that. And just the way that this is chunking up there with the grooves, that just sort of like chain linking. And we've rubbed right back into where the fasteners are. Geez, I'm fortunate that this is some thick stuff. So, you know, obviously, any knowledgeable folks out there in the wooden boat world, how would you go about that from, you know, a DIY perspective? If it means every year that I've got to do this repair, I'm okay with that. And this here, this would have happened when I got caught on a pile of rocks. Nice big chunk. Nice bit of a chunk there too. But overall, you know, late 50s, even if this boat was built in the 70s, for a 50-year-old wooden boat hull, holding up really well. And then this anti-foul was donated to me from one of the club members here, who was a former manager of Margate Marina. So I'm really chuffed, and I've just given it a little tickle. And you know what, I'm also chuffed, this here is called wash and wear paint. This is wash and wear paint, and it's held up really well. It's held up really well, and I gave it a blast down here. See, it's come off a little bit, but that's because I didn't go hardcore on the prep, right? I just wanted to get out in the water, and I've been doing some experimenting. So that there is liquid nails, right? And then this here is roof and gutter Sikaflex, and I'm very chuffed. with that, how well that's held up, even down in there. Right. Right. Well, that's what it looks like this side, and I've got interesting growths that look like little cow udders. So that's what it looks like after being in the water for just under a year. And that pretty little red growth there. Barnacles, mussels, I mean even the black paint's held all right, and that's potbelly black. It's interesting how it's worn here. I guess that's where the prop wash goes, hey? So that's interesting. We've got these gel-like growths. But compared to when I first brought him up, it's looking really good. And we're up on the beams this time. And props to the bosun. Got me looking a lot squarer. So that's what we're up to, fellas. That is what we're up to. This time round, we're getting in and we're knocking off this old paint. Well, I didn't do that the first time. Oh, like I said, I was just getting itchy. And I just wanted to whack on some anti-foul and get out in the water and go exploring. So we've gone exploring. We know all the where the little anchorages are. We've done logistics. We've got a pretty shallow draft. We're around about I think we're about 1 metre. We could be 300. Excuse me, not 300, 3 feet. But just looking at the back there, you know, he sort of tapers down this way. So I'd probably start off at like 700 and 900, and then I reckon at the end there, at the maximum, I'm at 1200. So I'm almost convinced that when they build it to consider beaching. Right, it could beach him because it's got this gradient to the draft. It's not just parallel. So that's pretty savvy. You can see there's our pipes are under there. That's the kill, what they call kill cooled, which is really cool. Yeah, I mean we're a little off center, but it was a bit tricky. We had the wind, we've got the tide, and we got the swell, and the back it just kept drifting that way. It's a bit tricky. But the bosun jumped on and helped us out. Yeah, you can see where we're a little skew that way. So we're sort of that center, and we're a bit like that, but we're sitting a lot squarer. Pretty happy. That anode there just got hammered. See that there? That's interesting. That's just been gnarled. Oh, so walk around the front. Give him a tidy up. So it looks like I've got a little bit of that chain anchor chain rash here, or rub, let's say it's probably a better word. But I mean, overall, pretty good, eh? Pretty good. Old anti-foul paint, and I'm a complete novice. This was, hang on, you can see where I've got a little bit of anchor chain rub there. Right, so this is going to be a bit of a mission. I've got to tidy out the anchor well in there. A bit here. We've got to lower that mast. That's another task. And that's a bit of casualty from the slipway. Not too bad. And I mean, we just got to get him as. I think that's a bit of jetty rub right there. We just got to get him looking as, you know, needs a bit of a trim and a shave, as they say, a bit of a clip and a paint, because, you know, the next journey is, yeah, we need to go and put him on the hard. I think, maybe, we'll see. But he's a good looking boat. Let me pause and I'll go at the top. So there he is in all his glory. It's a real apocalyptic looking almost, and that's the vibe I'm going for. I'm going for that, you know, sea gypsy, post-apocalyptic, vagabond sort of look with a little bit of ruggedness, but and character. And the gunnel walls or side walls from the deck really add to the shape of the bow. Right, really nice. Go and get press pause. So there we are from the top. Get a bit of a front. Yeah, we're on a bit of a slope. Not too much, but what can you do? Remember, just working with what we've got. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky getting a boat up on a slip. And getting it square. I mean, unless you had little dinghies out there in the water, and you're working on radios or your phone, and one saying, "Oh, push the bow," and he's pushing that, you know, to square him up, and you got swell coming in too. It's a tricky little slip, but we're up, and so we celebrate. We go, you beauty, we're up. We got ourselves beyond the procrastination, beyond the thinking, and I should and I better. Just, hey, book it in, get it up. The weather this morning was looking like it wasn't going to be on, and it's just turned up. So, you know, thanks to the weather. Thank you very much. And you know what's really good. You know what I'm going to tell you. We get a hot shower, baby. You be. We get ourselves a hot shower. Okay? To many, you'd be like, what? Yeah, it's a hot shower. Like, settle down. You don't know how good you got it. If you can have a hot shower whenever you want, you've got to give some gratitude, because that is a luxury. That is a luxury, I tell you, an absolute luxury. And here's where the water line's been sitting, right? Or where the been sitting in the water. So I need to take notes of that before I wash it off. I forgot on the other side, because I forget the guy's name, but there's a guy on YouTube. It's called Tips from a Shipwright, and he mentioned something about the waterline or the bootstrap, and I thought it was just a cosmetic thing, right? But it's actually really important, because you have a waterline or bootstrap mark. It's actually, you could call it a water level indication line or flotation indication line, meaning when I'm sitting in the water, any deviation in my buoyancy is going to show where I'm sitting, right? So if I'm this way, it's going to tell me, hang on, I must have water in my bow, right? Because I've got water going over this way. Or you might see the waterline raised and then it goes in under the water, or other way around. I was like, okay, need to pay attention to that. So what I'm just going to do is make little marks here, and I'm going to take a measurement. I'm going to measure the distance from there to there and put it there, and then maybe come across, say there, right? And then that's what I'm going to do. Dunk. And then what I might do from the corner of that is just run a water level line, and then I'll take measurements. I'll take a measurement from there. Get my level out. Take it to there. And then just take another measurement. Get the level out so I know I'm vertical. Take a measurement. So that's my plan of attack. So here, we'll scrub up. We'll scrub the boat up, and then I'll scrub up, and then we're heading over to Nabina to honour my responsibilities as a volunteer. So it's my first real interaction with the community since I've been out there on my boat the last year, and I think I've gotten to a level with myself where I can start to interact with people a bit, but that makes sense to anyone out there. And here's these cow udder things. Oh, they look like little I thought I've got nipples on my boat. Excuse me, I just swore. I tell you, he better not be going freaking transgender on me. Hey, listen here, buddy. Yeah, but I'm meant to be a girl. Boats are meant to be girls. Well, no. So he's a fella. To me, this is old chappy. This is sitting pelican. I don't know exactly why, but I did want to be different. And I'll just flip this around. How's that? Magical. We'll do one more pan, and then just thank you for watching. Be good, be great. Keep doing good things. This is Captain Kane, Iron Wake Maritime. Life on a wooden boat.